Do you want to learn a new technology? Now, from time to time, I spend time on a regular basis to learn a new technology, and I want to share a few tips. Now, in this video, I want to share 10 tips or 10 steps that you can take to learn a new technology. Step number 1 is to find a good reason. And that reason could be you're looking for a new job, or maybe you want to get better at your existing job, or maybe you want to become the next Bill Gates or the next Steve Jobs. Basically, you want to become a billionaire. So you need to have that reason in your mind very clearly. Step number 2, when you decide that you want to achieve something, then define a goal. And when you define a goal, like that you want to become better at your job, or maybe you want to become a billionaire or a millionaire, whatever you have set in your mind, your next goal, then decide a date by what date you want to achieve that particular goal. Now again, you don't have to be too much specific at this stage, but have some rough idea in your mind. Let us say you want to get a job by maybe the end of next year, or maybe in the next 6 months. My recommendation is that when you decide a date to achieve that goal that you defined in step number 1, your goal should be somewhere in the next, or at least in the next 6 months to 2 years. Now the reason is that when you have a goal that you can achieve maybe in 6 months or maybe in 2 years of time, then you have something that you can definitely achieve, that you can potentially achieve in 6 months, for example, and you have some visibility on what all you can do to achieve that goal, and it gives you a good feedback. If you make a plan that is probably in the next 5 years that you can achieve, or maybe 10 years, and it is a bit too far. So make a goal with a date that is somewhere in between 6 to 2 years. Step number 3, once you have a goal, once you have a date by which you want to achieve that goal, then break it down. Break your goal into smaller mini goals, and all those mini goals, all those smaller goals should help you in achieving your big goal. So basically, at this particular stage, you should make a plan, some kind of a plan. Let us say you have a goal in mind, so break it down into 10 steps, or maybe 20 steps, or maybe 50 steps, and then plan your work, plan how you are going to achieve those smaller goals. Step number 4 is that you should commit to your plan. And when you commit to your plan, then I mean that you should spend time every day. So let us say if you want to get a job by the end of next year, in the next, let us say 10 months or 18 months or 6 months, for example, then based on your plan, based on your goal, based on your smaller goals, you should spend, of course, time to do something about it. Now, that spending time could be maybe waking up early and working every day for additional 2 hours or maybe 1 hour for, let us say, 5 days a week or 6 days a week. So do spend time to achieve that goal on a regular basis, at least every week. Don't really spend time once every 2 weeks. That is not enough. You need to spend time regularly. Step number 5 is that you should get your hands dirty. And of course, I'm talking about learning a new technology. So when you have a goal in your mind, let us say you want to learn Java and you want to publish an app on the App Store, and you want to, of course, maybe let us say make money. So get your hands dirty and start doing something from the very beginning. So it could be as simple as publishing a simple app in your first month, or it could be, if you're, let us say, trying to build some web-based platform, maybe you want to start your own company and you have an idea in your mind. So start early with a smaller project, and when you have this smaller project in your mind, then it will give you continuous motivation, and it will drive you all the way. So start by creating projects from the very start. And there is also one more reason. When you get your hands dirty, when you work on a smaller project, it will also give you an opportunity very early to discard that technology. Maybe you want to maybe you decide that you don't really like it, or maybe this is not the right technology for you, and you can only decide it when you do something with it. So making a project is very important. Getting your hands dirty is extremely important step in the very beginning. Step number 6 is that if possible, share whatever you're learning. Let us say if you're learning how to make apps on Android, then why not share it? It could be in a form of a blog that you can write. It could be in a form of a video that I'm making right now, for example. So whenever you're sharing something, you are always learning it with an intention to share, and you will learn it properly, because to share whatever you're learning, it is not really that easy. You have to spend time. You have to make sure that you understand it properly. Only then you can share. So it is really good way of keeping yourself motivated whenever you are learning a new technology. You can also maybe share something on GitHub, for example. Maybe if you're working on a project, and then why not make it as open source project, or at least keep on sharing that particular code that you're writing when you're building something, that mini project, on GitHub, so others can also benefit from it. Step number 7 is that if you're learning a new technology, I think it is always good to, in the beginning you can always watch YouTube videos, or maybe you can read some blogs, but you need to commit to a book or maybe some proper online course. There are a lot of courses online. Some of them are also, you can probably find something for free, but these days there are different platforms like Udemy or Skillshare where you can sign up, where you can subscribe for maybe a monthly fee, and those courses, those platforms are not really very expensive. They are really cheap these days, and when you commit to a book or a course or maybe a teacher or a mentor, you are basically giving yourself a chance to go deep into the learning. Step number 8 is that while you are learning something, also make your own notes, and these notes are really important. And this also connects back to the point number 6, where I mentioned sharing whatever you are learning. So when you are, let us say, writing your own notes, making your own notes, if you're following a course or if you're learning something, then keep on sharing it, and those notes will basically help you in case you want to refer to something again. Because when you have to refer to something again after, let us say, 1 year of your learning, or maybe you're in between your course and you want to basically revise something, or maybe you want to refer to a specific thing that you learned maybe in chapter 1 or chapter 2, you can just look at your notes and not really not really in the book, because it can be a bit difficult. So always make your own notes. Step number 9 is when you're learning a technology. For example, these days I'm learning Node.js, although I'm a bit late, but I'm learning it anyways now. When you learn a technology, there are so many other technologies that you should also learn. not really in great length. You don't have to go deep into those supporting technologies, but it is always good to know those things that can probably help you. For example, if you're learning Android or of course Java, then also learn a bit about web development, also learn a bit about deployments, and these things will really help you. Also learn about testing or continuous integration or continuous deployment. Of course, these areas are not really the main part of your learning, but when you learn these supporting technologies, it will really help you, because these days you can't just rely on one technology. You have to learn various other things. Step number 10 is extremely important. Whenever you're learning something new and whenever you are committing yourself to learning that technology, you should take regular breaks. You should allow your brain to rest. Don't spend too much time on it for a long time. I mean, I mentioned that you should spend regular time every week, at least 4 to 5 days in a week, but every 2 or 3 months take a break, maybe for just 1 week or 2 weeks, so that you are giving yourself time to think about new ideas or different smaller projects that you can build. And of course, whenever you're learning something, I always say, as I mentioned in my step number 1, always have some goal in your mind, so that you're always on track and you're not really distracted. Because when you learn a technology and when you learn those supporting technologies, you can get distracted with things that are not always relevant, but keep your end goal in your mind. So this is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.